Hi, my name is Michael Spinozzi, and today I'm going to be talking about how to use a radar gun. A radar gun is a tool in baseball that can see the velocity either from pitching or hitting. Now what this means is a radar gun is used to show how hard a pitcher is throwing velocity-wise, and it'll display it as miles per hour. And how to read it is you would stand behind a catcher or in the stands or behind the pitcher, and you would be able to see the velocity that he's throwing. From the hitting perspective, you would stand behind the hitter or in front of him with a screen in front of you, and you'd be able to see how hard the ball is coming off the bat. A little bit about the radar gun. The radar gun was developed during World War II. It was used to track how fast automobiles were going and things of that nature, and that's how it came up. Since then, the radar gun has been a huge tool for a lot of scouts to determine how hard people are throwing, and is a general rule of thumb for them. The basics. So a radar gun is very simple to use. What you cannot see is there's a trigger in there that when a pitcher is about to throw, you hold the trigger down, and after the ball has reached the catcher, you release and it will show the miles per hour. Now, this red button is XMIT, which makes it easier to read radar gun readings by pressing the button, and it will read the velocity without having to do anything. The power, off and on, you have the recall speed, which shows you the velocity of the previous pitches before then. Setup menu, just your classic options. The range, you could set it from range 1, which is right behind the catcher. Range 2 is like the first seats of the stands, and then range 3 is the farthest back. Peak hold, which is about the top velocity that is shown on the radar gun. And then the self-test, which is basically testing the radar gun's functions, the battery life, stuff like that. Why it is beneficial for scouts. So for my major, as going into sports management and hoping to be a scout, velocity is a huge part of the game of baseball, and a lot of scouts use velocity to judge pitchers. Now there's a lot of different velocities that pitchers throw, but a general rule of thumb is that most major league pitchers are throwing in the 90s, and a radar gun is a really good thing to use to determine how hard someone is throwing. It will not only show how hard a fastball is coming, but it will also show other pitches that the pitchers are throwing. This can show curveballs, changeups, split fingers, things of that nature, and shows how hard a pitcher is throwing with different off speeds. It can also help determine injury. Now, you can't determine what kind of injury you have, but if your arm's hurting, you go up to the mound and you're throwing and your velocity is down, well, the chances are, if your arm's hurting and your velocity is down, that there could be an injury. If the velocity is down, it could also show that there's different mechanical issues and things of that nature. For the last slide, just kind of some cheap radar guns and expensive radar guns. This is a Bushnell radar gun and a pocket radar. There's a lot of different radar guns out there that people use, and these tend to be the cheaper side ones. They won't display accurate radar gun readings all the time and that stuff. The expensive ones are the Stalker and the Jugs. These are the ones that the major league scouts use. These are very accurate, and a lot of the scouts use these. Radar guns are very big in my field, especially as a scout, so I could judge pitchers to see if they would be a good fit in a college program or in a major league team. So, thank you.